Buckle up, hot teas. This one's emotional.
But we've got our summer in a bottle to get us through it. Welcome back to a very special episode of Long Island Tea, where we spill the tea on living your best Long Island life. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Sharon. Welcome back.
Now I'm already going to cry.
Yeah, it's starting.
I know.
We said we weren't going to do it.
I know. Okay, keep it together. So this is a very special episode, and I'll kick it off. And this is a very important how you doing. I want to make sure I get it right by saying, I don't think I ever got it right, Sharon. In the 10 years I was here, I never said it right. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, guys.
How you doing? I used to say, how you doing? Remember Sal, the voice was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're butchering it.
How you doing? And I was like, how you doing?
Oh, Sal. I love Sal.
I love Sal. We love Long Island. And this is a very special episode of Long Island Tea because this will be my last episode. I know. Of this incredible podcast that we created.
Yes.
Because if you've been living under a rock.
Anywhere.
Yes. We were just saying it's a bittersweet announcement today that I am leaving Discover Long Island to be the CEO of Choose Chicago.
We are so incredibly proud and excited for you.
Still surreal.
Still surreal, but extremely devastated here.
Oh, thank you.
For a very long time, I told Michael this, and I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but for a very long time, we were each other's ride or die. And now you're...
We always will be.
Yes.
First of all, let me tell you, you will always be ride or die.
Yes. And now you're riding and I'm dying.
No.
I can't be, and it's just...
Can I tell you now, and this just shows you what a jerk friend I am. You've always like started every day by reading my horoscope. So you know what mood I'm going to be in when I come in. Cause you know, I read my horoscope.
Yeah.
And then I set my day based on what my horoscope's going to be.
Yeah.
I let my horoscope dictate my life.
Right. Don't we all?
You do now, I think. And so I have started as of late reading your horoscope every day. And I'm like, oof. Every day my horoscope's like, all your dreams are coming true. And
you've been waiting a long
manifested is happening. And yours is like, I know it seems bad.
Impending doom.
Right now. But it will get better.
It will get better.
Stick through it. See it through. And I'm like, oof.
Yeah, it's rough.
But listen, we just did a great C-suite tea. So if you're not following our C-suite tea podcast, please do that because we have a couple more of those coming out.
Yeah.
You can still get your Sharon and Kristen fix there.
Yes.
And we just did one with Ed Jankowski, who is my CEO consigliere, by the way. I go to him for everything. He was the CEO of Godiva Chocolates, which I'm obsessed with still, and Express Spa and Luxottica and Liz Claiborne and all these amazing things. So he's always like, telling me what I should do and giving me great advice that I always take because it's really good. And I'm on a tangent. I don't know why, but he was like, oh, I know why. He said, you know what? Change is good. He was like, Sharon and Michael, don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. And it is true. I mean, it's a growth opportunity for you as well in the organization, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just sad now I'm going to miss my friend.
I know. Every single day. Every single day.
It's just like, it's been weird. It's like a bad breakup, like you didn't move out yet.
I know. It's bad. It's bad. It's sad. But I will tell you, I went to Chicago.
Yes.
For the big announcement.
I know. How was that? Because royalty, girl.
First of all, I flew in during like historic storms, which why not? It's
the Windy City.
For the course. I mean, just this entire journey and process.
Yes.
Why wouldn't the day of my announcement, I'm coming in, be historic weather? That means my flight was diverted. And it's so funny because we were talking about the Amazing Race.
Yes.
And I was like, Sharon, I'm texting you the whole time. I just did some amazing race stuff. I don't think I said stuff.
Yeah.
But to get on this flight because my flight was delayed 3 hours. So I go to the Delta Lounge. It was supposed to take off at 11 and it's now going to take off at 3. It's not going to get in till later. I'm going to miss
a ton of announcements. And,
all the stuff.
yeah.
There's supposed to be a whole quote unquote brand package.
Right.
There was camera crew.
Waiting.
I had video scripts. I was making all these videos and cameras with the city skyline behind me. And there was like a whole lighting and situation. I mean, it was like a huge ordeal.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, you're not going.
The
You're
guys
not
were like,
gonna
nope.
get it. Like,
I feel like Delta felt the same way I did. They're like, no.
Yeah. So I go, I'm like, I'm not even going to try and deal with this. I'm going to go to the Delta Lounge and deal with like the person there.
Yeah.
So
Smart.
I get, so, well, you would think. So I go to the Delta Lounge, help desk. And I'm like, listen, I got to get to Chicago and my flight's delayed. So it's not acceptable.
Right.
What's the solution? He's like, historic rain. I don't know if you've seen the weather pattern.
I don't know if you're looking outside.
I'm like, yeah, but anywho, what are we going to do? What are we going to do here?
It.
So he was like, listen, well, there is a flight that leaves soon. And I was thinking, what is that flight? Because I looked and there was only an 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. He's like, there's one that leaves soon. And it's like right now around 11. He's like, but you're not getting on it.
Yeah. Sold out.
Sold out. Can't even buy a ticket. 100% oversold. Maximum capacity, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so he's like, I can look at other airports. Otherwise, your flight's coming from Minneapolis, which is why it's like they're not getting off the ground.
Right.
But whatever. We'll see how it works. I'm like, okay. So I get my Diet Coke and I sit down in the Delta Lounge. I'm ready to like dig in for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I hear them come over the speaker and say, all boarding now for Chicago flight gate A14, whatever. And I'm like, that's the flight that's going to quote unquote leave soon with no spaces. I'm like, what flight is this? So I go down. I'm like, I'm just going to go scope it out.
Yeah.
I mean, Stacy, I was telling her, she's like, you were like, do you know who I am?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know
I got to get to Chicago.
who this is?
And it's a small little plane, know? So I go down there and turns out it was the 8 a.m. flight that had been delayed for 3 hours. So I'm like, you never know. People maybe didn't wait around. I don't know. Yeah. So I just put my name. I'm like, hi. And luckily I was in a first class seat.
Right.
So that helps.
Yep.
I like leapfrogged a bunch of other people on the waiting. I was like, hi, she's like, listen, sold out. Yeah. I'm like, fine. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait.
Just going to stand right here.
Like The Amazing Race.
Yes.
Stay near the gate.
Yeah.
Don't walk away.
Don't go.
You never know.
Right.
I learned this by watching The Amazing Race. And so I stayed there and sure enough, she came over. She's like, all right, you're ready to board. I couldn't get you a first class, but you're in Comfort Plus. I'm like, wasn't expecting that.
Fine. Thank you.
I would sit in the bathroom at this point just
I
to
would
get
sit
me
next to the stewardess.
Yeah. So I get on the plane, amazing, so excited. And then we get to the taxi and we're getting ready to taxi and the flight pilot comes on. Okay. Bad news. He's like, we were just getting ready to take off and they just closed the Chicago airports because of weather. God. So we're going to wait, see if it passes, see what happens. I'm like, okay.
What was it doing? Raining or snowing?
It was historic rain.
Okay.
Like apparently.
Like a foot of rain.
I mean, if you watch the Today Show, it's like tornadoes, rain.
I watch Channel 7, Ginger. She's like, watch out, Midwest.
Yeah. They were basically like, take shelter.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't know. I don't understand. So we wait. Finally, they're like, okay, we have a window. We're going to take off. I'm like, window. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I got to get there, but also like taking off in a window. Okay, whatever. At this point, do it. So
I dare you.
Exactly. Like at this point, let's just roll the dice.
Yeah, exactly.
We go. Finally, I'm getting tossed around like a sardine can up there. I don't even know what is going on. It's wild.
Even in Comfort Plus, you're like,
let me tell you, this little plane.
Oh man.
I was like, can't even. So that my mother-in-law in Chicago is texting me. My daughter is texting me from Chicago. Like, it's raining sideways. She's like, they canceled my class.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, they're closing. The airport's closed again. Like, are you good?
Oh man.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to land.
Yep,
it's fine. And then they come on, we're not landing.
Oh God.
We're going to go to Madison, Wisconsin. Turns out. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not part of the plan.
Nope.
So they divert us to Madison, Wisconsin. Which,
how far is that from Chicago?
So I know because I immediately booked a rental car just in case. This is what you do with the airplane Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I don't want to get to a little airport and be trapped.
Be stuck. Exactly.
So it's a 3-hour drive.
Okay, not bad.
I was like, look, booked my rental car. I'm not going to be in line. This is travel pro stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Amazing Race. This is what it teaches you. So, and you can cancel it within 24 hours.
Right.
So I was like, no loss. Right. So I book it, no problem. I land. And then they're refueling the plane and they're like maybe an hour, hour and a half. So I used the time to like talk to the team at Chicago. They were prepping me for some media interviews. We're like role playing.
Right. Oh, fun.
Oh yeah. It's just serious.
It's wild.
It's a new level.
It is a new level.
It's like the Chicago PR firm, not a person,
right?
Like firm. They were asking
like
me tough questions.
External firm,
like
right?
asking me some tough questions, getting like, this is what, and they were like, okay, don't say this, do say that, lean more towards this. I'm like, okay, prepping me. It was great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we used the time and then I'm like, I would take my AirPods off. I'm like, hold on, they're saying something. They said we can board. I'm like, I'm back on.
Getting on a plane.
Here we go. Like cancel the rental car, get on the plane. So I got there just in time for dinner. It was crazy. And guess what? So I'm in the lobby of my hotel. I stayed at the Pendry, which is this beautiful hotel. I love it. And there's one in Baltimore that I stayed at.
Yeah.
With Al Hutchinson, who we just recently, he's the CEO of Visit Baltimore. We just recently interviewed him on the C-Suite Tea. Another plug for that podcast. If you have not listened to it, go do it. He's incredible. And so I'm sitting there and someone says, oh, the bellman's like, oh, Miss Kristen Reynolds, here's your envelope that is waiting for you.
I'm sorry.
And so I'm going to and someone pops up from the lobby and says, and I've had a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like,
I've had a day. I've been diverted.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
Someone pops up and says, Kristen Reynolds, right? I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? Al Hutchinson's son.
No, that's hilarious. You didn't tell me that.
Because I wanted to get your reaction like this on the pod.
That.
He's like, Terrence, I'm Al Hutchinson's son.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, Al? He said Al. And I was like, Al? I'm like, I'm so discombobulated. I'm like, Al's in Baltimore. I'm in Chicago. What? And he goes, no, I'm here. I'm just here on business randomly. He just happens to be at the hotel. I was like, my dad told me about your new job. Congratulations.
Oh.
Talk about kismet.
Yes.
I'm like, what are the odds?
What are the odds? I thought it was going to be like some random.
Me too.
Scary.
I was like, who knows me here? Nobody knows me.
Like you wonder, but
you wonder.
The news, the way it's been broadcasted.
I know. So anyway, I had to tell you, what an incredible way. I was like, shut up. Let's take our picture.
Hello.
I know. Took a picture and sent it to Al. But it was such a great, it was such a warm Chicago Midwestern welcome. Everyone is so excited. It's just, and listen, hard questions too. There's a big expectations. Yes. People are like, do you feel the pressure? I was like, sure do.
Sure do.
Mm-hmm. And if I didn't feel it, I would put it on myself anyway.
Right.
Because that's who I am as a person. And also, like you said, bittersweet.
It is bittersweet, but it's such an incredible move for you. I mean, this is something, you're in the next level.
It's wild.
What did Ed say? You're in your second trimester of your career. That's like incredible city to represent.
Yeah.
I mean, what you've done here for Long Island goes without saying. I feel like, what did we say? In 10 years, you grew the tourism industry by what was the number? $2 billion. $2 billion
even
just
for
Long Island, even through a pandemic. I mean, cheers to you, sister.
Thank you. Us, by the way. You can't be ride or die and not take credit for it, Sharon. This was a team effort, and the whole team, by the way. Yes. The Discover Long. We have to take a drink because it's bad luck. Otherwise, hold on. Anyway, so couldn't have done it without you and the team that we have, and the community. Really, the board.
Yes, we have an incredible
directors.
board. Mm-hmm.
The outreach on both sides has been so incredible. I have to tell you though, it was totally surreal. I just can't explain it. It felt like an out of body experience.
Do you still feel this way? Because I know we talked
more real.
Okay, good.
Because I'm like already digging into the work.
Right.
All weekend. They're texting me.
Yeah.
Like emailing me all weekend, like this and that. And I'm like, listen, I don't start yet.
Right.
I have a job to do, but I'm excited to start. Yeah. And so because of the work, it's feeling real. I think someone's calling me right now.
It's fun.
But anyway,
pipe down. She's still mine.
I know.
Thank you.
Give me a minute. But it has been so great. Like today, cover of our trade magazine, USAE, and I had almost 500 LinkedIn requests.
Oh my gosh.
500.
Just on LinkedIn. I'm looking at your comments on your Facebook and Insta, like just 300 comments on one. I'm like, what?
It has been a full-time job.
You're royalty, girl.
But it's been great. Yeah. It's been a lot of people, I think the general consensus is wow. Yeah. And I take that as positive, but 100%. I think a lot of people and some of the media that asked me questions, I really loved. There were a couple questions like, how do you think this matters to other women in the industry that are looking to excel and grow? And I said, it does matter. And I feel the gravity of it, because I looked to other women in these C-suite roles in Boston and Seattle and Orlando, my colleagues, and I've always looked to them, and now people are going to be looking to me. And I do understand that. And I really value that. And, Michael and I were talking about this on Friday, and I said, it's men and women, like just believing in yourself. I think so many people were like, what even gave you the courage to even throw your name in the hat for it's major, it's tier 1,
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's one of the largest cities, Chicago, New York City, LA. This is incomparable.
And largest convention center in North America.
Yeah.
So, and coming from a place that doesn't have a convention center yet. Now, we got one, we're getting one built, and it's, as I told them, I think it's, selling it is the easy part.
Right.
Getting it built is
the hard part.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Convincing people that we need one, but no, I definitely have a big job, big work cut out for me. And a lot of similarities when I came to Long Island.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of uncertainty there. So
it's funny, obviously we have to fill your role eventually. And I was talking to a couple search firms recently, and, I loved this one. They were just like, they got it 100%. And I was like, laughing. First of all, I have 1,000,001 spam calls a day. We know this. You were always like, do you need to get that? I'm like, no, it's my boyfriend's spam. Like, no. So I'm scheduled a call with this search firm for 11:45 on Friday. And I was supposed to go to another event on Friday at UBS, but I had my workload was a little heavy.
Yeah.
So we sent the team, but, I said to them, call my cell phone at, 11:45 because I'm going to be en route. So it'd be better I'll call you in the car. So it's 11:45 and my phone's ringing and I'm declining it. I kept declining it because I was like knee deep in paperwork and I declined this call 4 times. And finally I was like, oh my God, this is my meeting. So I answer it. I'm like, I don't even say hello. I'm like, I am so sorry.
You're like, sorry.
She's like, I just thought, like, what are the odds? And I'm like, I get the most obnoxious amount of spam calls a day, and I didn't recognize the number, and I forgot I told you to call my cell. So anyway, long story short, I said to her, I'm like, this is big heels to fill here on Long Island. So the search is going to be wide, and it just needs to be, it's so important to get somebody in this role as dynamic, or if not, even 1/10 of your dynamicness. Is that a word?
Well, thank you. Well,
just important.
And again, my secret bullet that I had was you. And so as long as you're here, and we got Stacy here, we got the team the team here is dialed in.
They are dialed in.
So, this organization is going to be great moving forward, obviously, because of the team and the leadership that we have, in you and Stacy and Bree. So it's great. But yeah, a lot of people have been asking like, oh my God. Oh, and I was going to tell you, when I was in Chicago, the media even asked me, Kristen, you have a podcast. The Chicago Tribune. Yeah. Was like, Kristen, you have a podcast. I've only listened to one episode. I'm like, you listened? He's like, yeah. He goes, so here's my question: is Chicago going to get a podcast? I'm like, they want what we have.
Right.
I mean,
love it.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
What we've done at Discover Long Island, people love it so much that they want it.
Yeah.
And they're excited about it.
That's awesome.
And I said, of course we need a podcast, Chicago. It's probably not going to be me.
Right. It's so funny because everybody's asking, like I keep getting random people reaching out to me. And they're like, what's going to happen to the pod? And I'm like, it's still going to run.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about it.
Is it going to be you and Kristen from Chicago? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, that would be amazing, but listen, you couldn't.
No, it's not that I couldn't. It's that it's the Long Island Tea podcast. It deserves to be all about Long Island and the Long Island community. You don't need anybody from Chicago. I got to learn my new accent. Chicago. You don't need Chicago weighing in on this. It needs to be Long Island focused. Yes. And I fully support that. So I'm actually excited for the next chapter of the pod. I'll be listening because it's going to be Sharon and friends. Yeah. Like Jenna and friends.
I love it. I'm excited.
You're going to start. Let's just start interviewing people. And that'll be a fun era for the pod.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fun.
That's how Kelly Ripa was discovered.
Yeah.
I'm so old, you guys. I remember when Regis was trying to fill Kathy Lee's shoes and he was interviewing people. I saw Kelly Ripa's first appearance.
Oh my gosh. I think I did too.
And she was pregnant. Do you remember that? And she was kind of an unknown because she was in All My Children.
Right.
And I knew her because I loved All My Children. But she came in and blew it away. You just never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Who's going to have the chemistry.
Right. And that's what we need, I think. I think this is why this podcast worked, is because it was our chemistry and we would bounce off of each other left and right. And I just think that's why it worked for as long as it did. So I think it's very important for this next co-host to have that chemistry with me.
Yes. So the hot teas can help weigh in on that.
Yeah.
Hot teas, let your voice be heard.
Yes.
And tell Sharon who you think has the best chemistry with her.
Yeah.
Because you're 100%. I heard it every single time. People were like, you and Sharon, you knew exactly when to chime in. You understood how my brain worked. That it couldn't have worked any other way.
Right. I agree.
think. So,
and you said that from the very beginning. You're like, I will only do this podcast if it's
I did
with
say that.
you.
I did say that. I did say that. They wanted me to do a podcast. And I was like, first of all, I said hard no.
Hard no.
And then I finally came back and said, all right, I'll do it on one condition.
Yes.
It's with Sharon.
Yeah.
That is the only way I will move forward. So, I am going to miss you and Long Island. And people are saying, you got to learn your new accent. But I think, going out, I thought we could talk about some of the things about Long Island that I love.
Yeah, I think so.
And some of the things about Long Island that I never assimilated.
Okay.
First of all, let's talk about the thing that I love. And that's Summer in a Bottle.
Summer in a Bottle.
Which we are enjoying right now.
Yes. This is what we started our podcast with.
Yes. And we had to tone it down for a while.
And we did. And we were getting yelled at. But I think what better way to end this dynamic duo podcast with Summer in a Bottle. This is the rosé and it is delicious. We love Wölffer.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wölffer's the best.
They really.
I mean, there's so many incredible vineyards on Long Island. You introduced me to Courteau.
Yes.
Oh my God. And there's so many great wines on Long Island. And I really want people to know going out. I don't have to say that anymore.
Right.
Okay. I love myself some Long Island wine. I will continue to drink it. Summer in a Bottle is just iconic.
I think what you need to do before you leave is, if you're not a member of Wölffer, you need to get stock in Summer in a Bottle.
I do. I was a member because I bought Patrick and Ed the membership, and then I'm going to buy a membership, obviously, because I need to get it in Chicago. So no, but I'm so excited that we had to drink Summer in a Bottle in our last episode.
We did.
It was imperative.
I have to ask you, you're going to miss New York pizza. Now you're going to go to the deep dish.
My God.
Ugh,
okay.
girl.
Oh my God. I was telling my board there because they wanted to do these video packages. And one of the questions was deep dish pizza or Chicago pizza or deep dish pizza or Chicago hot dogs. And I was like, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired before I even start.
Yeah, not even started yet.
And first of all the Chicagoans tell me, they promise me, deep dish pizza is really for the tourists. Okay. So there's a thing which I'm excited to try, which they tell me is tavern pizza.
Oh.
And it's very thin crust.
Yeah, it's probably like wood fire.
Yes. Yeah. Very thin, crispy, and the cheese goes all the way to the end. I'm like, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to try
it's
some
all about
tavern
the sauce.
Yeah. I want to try some tavern pizza. But I was just going to say, what I love and what they hosted me at is a good Chicago steakhouse.
Oh, yes.
Listen, I'm here for that all day long.
Absolutely.
But no, my New York pizza, I'm never going to fold it. Never happened, New York. I'm sorry. Come for me. I'm never going to fold the pizza. I think it's weird.
You know what's funny?
It's also a little, as Tegan would say, it's a little big back.
It is a little big back, which is what I was just going to say is I cut it down the middle.
Oh.
And then I still fold my
You're
little
such a
quarter.
skinny legend.
I still fold.
I like to just let it fly. I love my New York pizza. The bagels, New York bagel, Long Island bagels.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll ship them to you. Don't worry.
Thank you. There's
Andrew Hazen will.
Andrew Hazen. I got a guy. I got a guy in New York that's going to send me my bagels. In fact, you know what I'll do is I'll bring him in for the whole staff. I'll win them over with bagels
From Long Island.
There's no better way to win hearts.
Right.
Than Long Island bagels.
Right.
Here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to eat it like a frickin' sandwich.
Why? Girl, that's the way to do it. You know what I had this weekend? It was so delicious.
Strawberry?
Yes. Everything bagel with strawberry cream cheese.
That is so weird.
It is delicious,
I can tell you
salty
now.
and sweet.
No, I know you always say that. That should not go together.
It goes really well together.
Okay, well, you're the Long Islander, so you can tell me.
What I do is on one side, it's like the regular cream cheese, and on the other side is the strawberry cream cheese, and then I put them together and eat it like a sandwich.
Absolutely not.
So good.
Sesame bagel, toasted with plain cream cheese.
Open face. That's what it's called.
Open
by
face.
The way.
Open face.
Let's say, what was
just laughing at
one of your favorite episodes?
Oh my God, one of my favorite episodes. Probably the ones I can't remember, to be honest. If I'm being honest, thanks to when we were being hosted by Long Island Wine Country, until we had to stop that nonsense. We were contractually obligated to drink a bottle of wine every episode, and that was when we were living our best life, to be honest. I don't know. When we used to talk about what was her name, being Anna.
Oh,
VIP is
yes,
better.
yes.
We were living our bougie life back then.
Oh my gosh.
Michael put on here, he reminded me the tuna fish sandwich episode.
Oh yeah. That was hilarious.
I remember telling Mark Dorr about it before it aired.
Because he's such a hot tea.
Because I saw him at an event and I was like, wait till you hear my next episode where I complain about my husband ordering a tuna fish sandwich on a romantic getaway, which is, by the way, don't ever. I don't think he's eaten a tuna fish sandwich since.
Poor guy. Poor Thomas.
I know. He's so great. I'm so lucky. But Mark Dorr was crying, laughing. That was fun. You know, it's just fun to be able to air people. And people said that to me. They're like, you get really personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, listen, we're just talking about life.
Right. That's why
because we want to be remarkable.
Exactly. I would say one of my favorite ones is the fish and chips.
Oh my God. So this is how my week went.
Right.
Without
you. Started it out.
I was like, and awesome.
And now my bag smells like fish.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Still airing out.
Oh
I've been spraying it every day. I had to change purses. And so I have fish. I have fish purse. Oh my God.
That is literally one of my favorite.
Infamy. The purse.
The Louis Vuitton.
It's still.
That was sacrificed to the Three Village Inn.
It's still in the top of my closet. It's still in the top of my closet. And I can't get over it. I can't bring it down.
No, Kenzie tried recently, right?
She did.
Like,
and I was like,
no.
I'm sure it's fine. I don't know.
Didn't you had it cleaned?
Did I have it cleaned professionally?
I feel like you did.
I don't know. And now it's just sitting and rotting. Anyway, no, the fish and chips that fell into my purse, not to be discovered until the next day. In case you missed that episode, you might want to go back because.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that took out a Louis Vuitton purse, which was not okay. Sharon, before I leave, I feel like I need to do a Long Island PSA.
Okay.
This is not going to win me any hearts. First of all, I do say on Long Island.
Yes, you do. And you correct people who don't.
Yes. And I think that's important because you're not in an island, you're on an island. And I try to tell people that elsewhere and they think I'm crazy, but I do believe you're on Long Island. I became a Long Islander. Mm-hmm. I feel like I raised my girls here. They are Long Islanders.
True Long Islander.
So, and I love it here. I love New York. I feel like a true New Yorker. But there's a way there is a way to say drawer. And I feel like people on Long Island need to understand that it's a drawer. Okay?
It's a drawer.
No.
It's in the top drawer to the left.
I'm like, I need to tell you, please, as I'm leaving, it's not a drawer.
It's a drawer.
No. It's not though, because there's more there's more letters.
Yeah, but I'm not drawing.
You are. You're drawing. No, you're right. You're drawing. D-R-A. Oh, it's interesting. No one's ever proposed it like that to me before. You're drawing. No, it's still no. It's a drawer. It's a drawer. Also, this is where I really lose fans. Okay. The other thing I never wrapped my arms around.
I feel like we're playing Never Have I Ever.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
I don't know. No.
You know, every time I read the paper and they're like, another Long Island diner closed, I'm like, yup.
Mm-hmm. You never? Oh, you're going to get us canceled.
I know. Everyone's giving me the stink eye here.
You did not embrace a diner?
I don't get diners. I don't get it.
That is the best place.
I know. Everyone's shaking their head here.
Because you can order whatever you want.
It's too much. The menu's too big.
No, it's not.
It's overwhelming.
And
if you know, you know.
Right.
Yes,
if
I know. I know.
And it's also like you can substitute anything you want at a diner.
Yeah. And you can sit there.
Do you know what I love about a diner?
Tell me.
Disco fries. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's French fries with mozzarella cheese and brown gravy. That is Long Island thing.
That's called poutine.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's otherwise known as poutine across the globe.
Is it?
Yes, Long Island. I love Long Island. Thinks
Disco fries.
Yeah, we're going to be different, and we're going to name it Disco fries. I like Disco fries a lot better. I'm not going to lie. That is smart.
Yeah.
I like this. I would order Disco fries before I would order poutine. I like it. I mean, that's why Long Island's awesome.
Yeah.
Because we march to the beat of our own drum.
What are you going to miss most? I mean, other than like reality, like
my house.
Yeah.
You know, I always talk about that's my sanctuary.
That's your Norman Rockwell house. 100%.
My sanctuary, my little village, you know, that just my little sanctuary, my porch.
I know you're not going to have a porch to flip in Chicago.
I'm not going to have a porch to flip in Chicago.
You're going to have some blinds to draw.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm going to do there. By the way, I'm going to have a doorman.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to tell you, I'm excited
parking spot.
I know, in a reserved parking spot. I have to tell you, we were going. My new board chairman and I were going to a meeting in a high rise because everything's in it's like high rise. It's like crazy. Life. It's like awesome. And the security guard was awesome. He was like checking us in, doing a security thing, and so the board chairman and I were talking, and he's like, "Listen, I'm ready." He's like, "I'm going to put my knuckles on," and I'm like, "I'm going to take out my earrings."
Yeah. Slick your hair back.
Yeah. What's and the doorman was like, "What is happening?" He's like, "Ayo, what's happening here?" He's like, "You taking it?" I'm doing my New York accent. He had a Chicago accent. So picture this with Chicago. I haven't learned it yet, but he was like, "I'm hearing something. You got your knuckles, your earrings. I'm here. Where do I need to be?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
My God,
where are we
that's
going?"
So funny.
And I was like, I love it. I love the human interaction of the city
life.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. And there's like this team. I have like handlers now.
I know. What is a handler?
Yeah, they drive like everywhere I went. There was like the SUV was waiting out front. We were going place to place to place. It was like every 20 minutes interview, breakfast with this team. Then you whisk off to this place, and it was like a board lunch. And then you whisk off to this place, and the driver was waiting, and the people are on their phones. Like the team, the PR agencies, okay, this article dropped. This is what they said. This was the headline. These were the takeaways. Okay, what do we need to do? Or we need to talk to this person. We need to tweak this. The mayor wants to meet you now. We got to switch the schedule because you got to go to the mayor's office. And I'm like, okay. And I talked to the mayor of Chicago. He's awesome. He's awesome. Like we're both very intense. And I like that.
Yeah.
Because my intensity, not always... embraced.
Right. But I think with fellow intensity.
Yes.
I think that's.
And you know what he said to me? He was like, I knew in our first conversation that you and I connected because you're scrappy. He's like, you're bold. You're a big, bold thinker. You're underestimated. You're a fighter and you're scrappy like me. Like he got it. And so I said, I was just having this conversation and I'm like, I've been called scrappy a lot in the last few years. And I was trying to
I don't like that word.
I know. I was trying to drop the moniker a little bit. I'm like, I don't want to be scrappy. I told the mayor this. I'm like, it's interesting you say that because I've been called that a lot. Just for survival, as a single mom and being able to make it in New York and to be able to make it on Long Island, which is not easy. Right. And there's a reason why they say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Absolutely.
But people are like, oh, you're so scrappy. You're such a survivor. You're a fighter, these things. And I said, I want to be poised and I want to be polished. I want to be these things. I'm like, but you know what? Long Island embraced my scrappiness. I got it. People get me here because of that. You know, it's okay. It's a little brat, you know, and that's okay.
That's okay.
And Chicago's the same way.
Yeah.
Look, they love it. They want someone who is going to fight for them.
Right.
Who is going to be innovative and creative and out of the box and not do the norm. And that's what we do here.
Yeah.
So it's being noticed. And I was like, you know, we vibed.
That's great.
And then they're like, one of my handlers. I shouldn't say that because they're not really. They're very incredible professional people.
Right.
They're not my handlers, by the way. I'm exaggerating, just so you know.
Because we're saying like, where's, you know, do you know who you are?
Right. And by the way, you know, I'm not like that at all. But
of course.
So I don't want people listening and thinking that.
Yeah.
But to me, it felt very VIP in that way. Like VIP is better.
Exactly.
And they're like, the owner of the Cubs is on the phone. And he wants to know if you'd like to come to opening day and be part of his VIP reception. I'm like, no, I can't. I got to go back. I got to go. I have like a job to still do on Long Island.
Still working.
I got to go. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, he wants to have a welcome reception when you get here. Okay. At Wrigley Field.
That's amazing.
Like, no. Okay. I told Thomas and he was like, what?
And we were talking like, how does that compare to the Long Island Ducks?
I know. And I was like, I love the Long Island Ducks.
Yes.
They don't have Quacker Jack.
They don't have any Quacker Jack in
I will
Chicago.
tell you that they never had a welcome reception for me. I'm just saying that.
You did get a private tour.
Remember? I did. Yeah. And a private suite.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we did. I love it. We love the Ducks here. So, and the fireworks night, by the way, Discover Long Island is hosting the fireworks night this year.
Yeah.
I'm kind of annoyed that I'm missing that.
I know. You got a lot going on.
I know. I love the Long Island family and the tea so much, but I got to tell you, I was trying to just decompress over the weekend and get off my phone.
Yeah.
Because it was like 500 LinkedIn. And I was trying to respond to people and like things. Because it's nice when people say nice things.
Yeah, when
and I
they're
want to say
reaching
thank
out.
you.
Yeah.
But I was also trying to like binge watch some TV.
Okay. What'd you watch?
Well, I'm all about White Lotus.
Yeah, 100%. Is it over?
No. It hit last night, right? The finale?
Yeah, I didn't watch last night.
I didn't watch last night.
So you watched that crazy episode?
I watched the crazy episode.
It's wild.
It was not as bad as you guys made it out to be. Thomas and I were like, I was scared to watch it, but I was like, it wasn't that bad. I don't know why. It was crazy. It was intense. But it was so funny because I was talking to Thomas and I was like, I don't know why we were talking about this, but I started saying like, you know, how crazy things were. And I'm like, listen, we are still in retrograde eclipse until April 7th. Okay. It is retrograde eclipse time. And he's like, you sound like Parker Posey. And I was like, Taiwan.
That is so funny.
Buddhism.
In Taiwan. Oh my God, that's so funny. Because Dan, like, he's like, I never knew you were totally into the stars, like the way you talk on the podcast. And I'm like, no, it's not that I'm totally into the stars. It just literally dictates how things go.
Which means you're totally into the stars.
Yeah.
Elisa DiStefano wrote me. She's like, no, I'm going to miss you. Don't leave. And I'm like, I'm going to miss you too, but I'm taking my crystals.
Yes.
I'm like, so you'll be with me in spirit.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I never was totally into the stars either. It's funny. We came into this podcast totally skeptical about all this stuff, but now we're like, listen, whatever it takes to get us through.
Yeah. So April 7th, it's over.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. April 7th, which is it gone? Is April 7th past? What day is it?
April 7th is today.
Oh.
Wait. Yes. I love how neither of us know what day it is.
No.
That's where we're at in life. We don't know. Funny, speaking of Parker Posey, I called my mom.
Okay.
And I let her know that I was having a job change.
Yeah.
And my mom is very much like Parker Posey if she was rich.
Right.
But my mom is not rich. My mom is the opposite of rich, but she's not. But she, I don't know, is that Lexapro? What is it on in Lexapro? Anyway, I don't know what it's. She like takes Benadryl a lot, you know, whatever it is. So I caught her, I think, you know, on an interesting day. but she is just like her accent, if you can picture it. I'm like, Mom, I have an important career change. And she's like, oh, tell me what's happening, honey. And I said, so I'm going to, I got offered the job at CEO of Chicago. And I didn't even try to say choose Chicago because that would be too much.
Yeah.
Chicago. And she's like, but you live in New York. And I'm like, no, I know. But I'm going to be the CEO of Chicago now. She's like, but you live in New York. And I said, no, I know, Mom, but I'm going to move to Chicago. Mm-hmm. And she's like, with who? And I'm like, with Thomas. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So what will you do there? Will you do, I'm like, the same thing I do here, Mom. I promote tourism, Oh my goodness. So what's it called? I'm like, it's called Choose Chicago. It's called what? Chewy. I'm like, make a choice. If you make a choice, you choose. Oh, choose Chicago. Okay. Well, I have to tell you, I was kind of hoping you were going to say you were going back to Arizona and you were going to live in Flagstaff because I really think that's a cute town. But, if that's, as long as you're happy.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, cool. Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to tell you,
so funny.
People wonder why I've got grit.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Why you're scrappy.
Why I'm scrappy.
But Thomas's family is probably super excited.
Oh my God. Mima, my mother-in-law,
and Lisa,
so sweet. They're like so excited. Mima, I talked to her yesterday. She's like, okay, here's my list. Oh, I've got a list. She's like, first of all, because I saw everything online, but she gets the Chicago Tribune and everything. So she's like, cover of the business section. Aww. Here she's showing me. And then she's like, and then today, cover of the opinion section. They wrote an editorial about it. Got my work cut out for me. Anyway, she's like, I really thought it was a dream when you first told me. I thought, did I dream that? Oh. And then I saw the paper.
That's awesome.
It's really cute. Anyway, it's very exciting. I'm going to miss the hot teas. Yeah. And I will be at hot tea now.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say to the hot teas before we wrap up. Get your merch. It's now limited edition merch. I still wear my tank top.
Yes.
The hot teas tank top.
Yeah.
I still have my hoodie. I mean, look, we've got our mugs.
It has K&S on it.
Oh my God. K&S forever. K&S.
Oh.
Forever. Michael, I wanted to I do have a little closing thing I wanted to do for you, Sharon.
Oh no.
Michael's going to come in. And Michael was with me when all this went down, but I have to leave you with something of importance and significance and value. But I'm not leaving you.
No.
Obviously, I'm going to see you. You're coming to Chicago in June. I'm going to see you as we host IPW and July. But come on in. I have a little something for you. Oh my God. I know. So don't cry. Stacy's going to cry. Stacy's over here and she's crying.
Stop.
This is important because, I'm a Tiffany's girl. And you, over the years, have gotten me many things from Tiffany's.
Oh my God.
That have been
why did you do that?
Instrumental to me, like my wine glasses and my champagne flutes. Yes. Kendra Scott, I love her. She wasn't going to cut it for this.
She's great.
She wasn't going to cut it. I needed something special, very special. Tell him what it is.
It's the heart.
No, it's a bean.
It's the bean.
It's the Chicago bean.
Oh.
It's the bean collection.
Oh my God.
So I got you a little bean that you can wear and know that I'm always with you.
Oh my God. Stop.
Okay, you cannot cry because you make me cry. Stop it. Okay. We're a hot mess now. We're hot teas and a hot mess. And it doesn't help that we're pounding summer in a bottle right now. Listen, Long Island, you have been a gift to me. I'm sorry I don't like diners. And then I say drawer correctly.
And you don't fold your pizza.
And I don't fold my pizza and I eat my bagels toasted. Okay. You tried your best with me and I think you did a good job. You did a good job. I love my Long Island community. I love my village. I will be back often. You will come visit me in Chicago often.
Yes.
Hot teas. I will be listening. Support Sharon and friends. Never stop listening because this is where you definitely learn how to live your best Long Island life. And we are still a model for success.
Yes.
And so make sure you follow me on Chrischar NY. Still New York. I know, forever, right? In my Chicago adventure. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Follow discoverlongisland.com and make sure you're following our blogs and all of our social for wonderful news and giveaways.
And stay tuned with me. Please, hot teas. Don't leave.
Sharon needs you. Sharon needs you now more than ever. Love you guys. Tune in next week.
Tune in next week.
The Long Island Tea Podcast is brought to you by Discover Long Island, thanks to our generous sponsor, Sands New York. Visit sandsnewyork.com for more information. For exclusive access to contests and promotions, follow Long Island Tea Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and X. And for questions, comments, and collaborative inquiries, email spillthetea@discoverlongisland.com.